بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Today we're going to start stage number 2. We're going to start learning mad, which means extension. An extension happens through 3 of the Arabic letters. A, Ya, and the Wa. Only through these 3 letters can sounds be extended. And how many sounds have we learned till now? 4. Not 4, actually 3, because the 4th one is sukoon, which means silence. So it's not actually a sound, it's the opposite of a sound, right? So we have 3 sounds: the fatha, a, the kasra, e, and the dhamma, u. These 3 letters extend these sounds, and each of them extend a specific sound. It's not like a extends all sounds. No, a extends only the letters that have fatha. Ya extends only the letters that have kasra. So only the letters that already are pronounced with the E sound. And wa extends the letters that are pronounced with an U sound. So I keep saying extend. What do I mean extend? That means I just spend more time on the letters that I just pronounced. So I'm going to give an example. Let's look at this. Of course, I chose the letter ba, but it could be any other letter. We'll just take this letter as an example for us. Ba with a fatha, if I add alif to it, it becomes ba. So what happened is I just extended the sound. Instead of saying ba, it's now ba. So when I extend, what I do is I double up the amount of time that I used to spend reading the regular ba. Okay? And that could vary from one person to another, or from, one sitting to another. So sometimes you could be reading the Quran, let's say, in a slow fashion, and then your ba sounds like ba. So the extension is going to sound long, ba. And sometimes you'll be reading the Quran in a fast way, so then you'll be reading the ba very short, like ba. And then the extension also should be equivalent to a double that length, ba, right? So when you extend, just keep in mind it is going to be based on the amount of time you're spending on the regular letter. B, if we add a ya to it, becomes B. And bu, if we add a waw to it, the wa, it becomes boo. And notice that the alif, the ya, and the waw do not have accents on top of them or below them. That's also a way how you will recognize that they are extension letters, because as we know, for example, the ya and the wa, the a is different because we always expect the hamza, right? Without the hamza, we cannot pronounce it. But with the ya and wa, sometimes we pronounce them as ya, yi, you, wa, we, woo. Since there are no accents on top or below, so we know they are actually extensions. So that's also a way to tell us when they're being used as extensions. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be focusing on the first type of extensions, which is the extension using the Alif. And let me fire my book here. It seems that I forgot to have it open already. That's fine. And let's do a new share. So I'm gonna share the book again, and we're gonna jump. Can you please raise your hand if you can see the book fine? I'm gonna jump to the page. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the extension as we're talking about it. And we're just gonna read from right to left. These boxes are saying al-harf al-maftuh, a letter that has fatha, and then it says mamdud bil alif, which means now it was extended with an alif. And it's the same thing repeated all over the place. So every time they're showing us a letter that has a fatha and then the same letter extended by an alif. So here we would read it as a, ba, ba, ta, ta. So it should be straightforward. Tha, tha. And this is also a good review for our letters. Ja, ja, ha, ha, kho, kho, da, da, the, ra, ra, za, za, sa, sa. And the rules of the alif apply the same thing as we used to, how the way we used to write the alif with the hamza is the same thing. This alif does not connect from the left side, okay? Sha, sha, saw, saw, da, da, ta, ta, va, va, a, a, ra, ra, fa, fa. I hope you're not thinking I'm going too fast. These letters, inshallah, should be mastered by now. Qa, qa, ka, ka, la, la. We talked about this before in previous sessions, how it's a connection in the different direction, and then the alif, right? This is the la. We always start reading from right to left, so we're starting with the la, but instead of keep going to the left side, they went to the right, and then they did the alif. So that's la. ما ما نا نا ها ها و يا يا. Okay, let's have some examples from the Quran. آ آدم. This is a word written in a very strange way inside the Quran. This is actually how it's written, but in normal Arabic, it wouldn't be written this way. But we're gonna read it anyways, the way it's shown. Bi Ali. Ra. So now we have this strange format. Okay, so let's read this together. Some words end with an alif maqsura. This shape is called alif maqsura. This is normal alif, a straight line. Alif maqsura does the same job as the regular alif, the straight line, but it looks like a ya without dots, okay? So it's called alif maqsura, which is an alif shaped like a ya. In some mushafs, where ya is always without two dots below it, it could be confusing to know when you should pronounce it as a ya and when as an alif, right? That was somebody who asked me this question before. So how do we figure out when do we pronounce it as an alif and how do we know when to pronounce it as a ya? The trick is, so look at the movement or accent of the letter ahead of it. So if the letter ahead of it or the letter before it has a fatha on it, then we're going to assume for now that it is an alif. Otherwise, if it has a kasra in front of it, it's going to be a ya. Okay? This is the simple way for now. Okay? So, as an example again, here we have ra, a. A is a letter with a fatha. So since we have this shape and the letter before it has a fatha, we're going to assume this is a alif, which is just in this shape. So it becomes an extension. Ra, ba, badiya. And notice, in this example, we put the two dots. Even if the two dots were not there, let's imagine for a second the two dots were not there. There's a big difference between this ya and this ya. The difference is this one has an accent also, right? So when you see an accent, you definitely know for sure that it is a ya, even if you don't see the two dots. This is a ya, okay? That's also something to know. So this is ba, di, ya. Ta, ba, ra, ka. A, ba, ta, ta, ba. ختامه أتى ثالث مثانية أنثى جاء جاءتك يجاهد سجى ح حججتم يحدد. Remember, always when you see the confusion, always top to bottom. You start top to bottom. These two dots, you know, we never learned a shape like this with two dots. So know that these two dots don't belong to this shape. This is the ha. The two dots belong to this tooth on top. And the calligraphy that they used make it look like that. So it's يحدد. وأصلح خاطره خادعهم تخاصم أخا دا دابيرة جاهداك هدى ذا ذات فذاقت إذا And this is a good place to stop. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.